The gentle breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers. As seekers gathered beneath the ancient Bodhi tree in silence, Buddha approached. His serene presence calming restless hearts. His robes shimmering with the golden hues of the early morning sun. Among the disciples sat a father and son, distant and estranged, their silence weighing heavier than their unspoken words. Buddha lowered himself onto the cool earth, his eyes observing the space between them, a chasm carved by time and pain. He began speaking with a voice that carried wisdom through the air, its tone gentle yet firm, like waves on sand. Once, there lived a farmer who possessed fertile soil, yet he envied his neighbor's flourishing garden. Buddha's voice rose softly. This farmer neglected his own garden and, in his longing for another's blessing, allowed weeds to overtake his land. He said, his son pleaded with him, saying, "Father, nurture what is already yours, for abundance lies within care and not envy." The farmer ignored the son's wisdom, dismissing his advice as naive words of youth, blinded by his own restless desires. When famine struck the land and rains stopped, the farmer realized his folly, but his neglect had long taken its toll. Turning his gaze to the father and son before him, Buddha continued, "Family is like the soil. It yields love when nurtured. When neglected, resentment grows like weeds, suffocating the possibility of unity and understanding between loved ones." Buddha's words resonated deeply. Reconciliation begins when hearts meet willingly, for time waits for no one, and love cannot bloom without care and intention. The father lowered his head, his thoughts stirring, as guilt began to unravel the pride that had anchored him in silence. The son, seeing his father's hesitance, took a step closer, extending his hand, a gesture born of courage and yearning. The lotus blooms in water made still, not turbulent. Peace follows when hearts open to one another without barriers, Buddha said. The father's hand trembled as he reached out, their fingers meeting, creating a bridge where division had once stood unyielding. Tears flowed freely, cleansing years of misunderstandings, washing away the soil hardened by neglect, making way for new seeds of hope. The other disciples witnessed this silent transformation, their own hearts reflecting on their personal journeys of estrangement and reconciliation. Buddha spoke again, his gaze sweeping across the gathering. "Let love be the path you walk, free from the shadows of fear. A family reconciled is the foundation of a world healed, for peace within creates ripples that extend outward into eternity." The Bodhi tree's leaves fluttered gently, as if bowing to the wisdom that had intertwined with the wind and the moment. Buddha rose gracefully, his presence like the sun illuminating the cracks of human imperfections with its steady, unwavering light. The father and son remained seated, their hands still joined, a silent testament to the words that had bridged their hearts. "Remember, the lotus will bloom again if you nurture the waters around it. So, nurture your relationships like sacred gardens," Buddha concluded. His footsteps faded into the distance, yet his teachings lingered in the hearts of all gathered beneath the ancient tree. The chapter ended, but its echoes grew louder in their souls, reminding them of the fragility and strength within family bonds. Another day, another gathering beneath the shade of the Bodhi tree. Seekers arrived carrying burdens unseen but felt within their hearts. Buddha appeared as sunlight filtered through leaves, his calm presence spreading like ripples across the surface of a still pond. Among the gathered disciples sat estranged siblings, their bond fractured by anger over inheritance, their silence like walls built with invisible bricks. Buddha's gaze rested upon them briefly, his understanding deepened by years of guiding others through the labyrinth of human suffering. He began speaking, his words flowing as rivers do, gentle but firm, finding the cracks through which growth can emerge. There was once a weaver who crafted robes so exquisite that even kings sought her art. Buddha's voice gently started. One day, her loom broke, and threads tangled into a knot that seemed impossible to untangle. He continued softly. She grew despondent, believing her artistry lost. Yet a wanderer passing by offered her counsel. Buddha narrated with calm purpose, "Do not despair." Over tangled threads, the wanderer said, "Do not tear the knot. Unravel it patiently, strand by strand." The weaver listened, and the knot began to unwind, restoring her loom and reviving her ability to create beauty anew. Turning to the siblings, Buddha spoke directly, his words carrying the weight of truth and the promise of hope. Life's knots must not be torn apart. In anger, they demand patience to unravel and restore what was once whole. Family ties are threads that bind. When knotted, they can suffocate or divide, yet they remain resilient and ready to mend. The brother cast a wary glance at his sister, his heart stirred by the echo of Buddha's parable within his mind. The sister, moved by the tale, felt tears well within her eyes, longing for the thread to bind them again. Buddha continued, "Unraveling begins when intentions are pure, when forgiveness replaces pride, and hearts embrace their inherent ability to heal. Broken threads do not mean the cloth is lost. It merely means repair is necessary. Which love can guide?" Buddha said. The brother reached toward his sister hesitantly, his hand trembling, its movement speaking louder than words he could not utter. The sister's hand met his, their touch an initial step toward the unraveling of knots that had held them apart. Your willingness to try is the spark that ignites the flame of reconciliation. Let it burn away shadows of past hurt. Buddha's voice softened as he continued, "Patience and compassion are your tools. Use them, and your bond will emerge stronger." The siblings nodded quietly, their commitment unspoken yet clear, their tears cleansing the soil of resentment, making space for growth. The other disciples observed, their hearts heavy yet hopeful, reminded of their own tangled threads awaiting patience to restore their harmony. Buddha's presence remained steady, his words flowing like a stream, nourishing hearts thirsty for truth and yearning for peace. Let the threads of love weave paths where division once stood, for unity thrives in spaces nurtured by care and understanding. He rose gracefully, leaving behind an energy that lingered, warmth from his teachings rooting deep within the souls of those present. The siblings remained seated beneath the bodhi tree, their hands still joined, a silent testimony to the teachings they had received. Each disciple carried Buddha's wisdom within them like seeds scattered by the wind, ready to bloom in the gardens of their lives. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that stretched across the earth, yet light remained within their hearts. Another day, another gathering beneath the bodhi tree, its leaves whispering ancient secrets as disciples sought wisdom to heal their wounds. In the kingdom of Kosala, Buddha began. Two neighboring villages were locked in a bitter conflict over their shared water source. The disciples exchanged glances, recognizing the echoes of such disputes in their own lives and communities. Buddha settled on the cool earth, his gaze resting gently upon them, his understanding extending like ripples in still water. He began speaking, his voice flowing like a gentle stream, carrying wisdom with each word that touched hearts open to receive. Long ago, there was a candle placed in a window, its flame guiding weary travelers safely through the night. He began. One stormy night, the candle's flame was extinguished by fierce winds, and darkness filled the room where light once shone. Buddha continued. The candle, despairing its purpose was lost, believed it could never guide travelers again through the darkness surrounding their journey. A matchstick hidden nearby whispered to the candle, "Your wick still holds strength. Allow me to ignite your flame again." The flame rekindled, illuminating the path once more. Bringing hope to travelers who had wandered in darkness, Buddha narrated calmly. Turning to the mother and daughter, Buddha spoke with warmth, his words carrying the weight of truth shaped by compassion. Family is the flame that illuminates our lives. Its light guides us even through storms that may extinguish it temporarily. The wick, though dimmed, holds the power to reignite. Reconciliation begins when hearts embrace the possibility of rekindling love, Buddha said. The mother's gaze softened as she listened, the walls within her heart trembling beneath the wisdom Buddha extended without judgment. The daughter's eyes welled with tears, her yearning for connection resonating deeply with Buddha's tale of hope and renewal. Buddha continued, "Darkness cannot diminish the flame forever. It is our willingness to reignite it that restores the warmth of family bonds. Our hearts, like candles, are designed to shine brightly even after storms threaten their glow. Healing begins with willingness to forgive." The mother reached toward her daughter, her hands trembling, their movement speaking of longing stronger than the weight of silence. The daughter grasped her mother's hands, their touch rekindling the flame of love dimmed by misunderstanding and years of separation. The flame burns brighter when nurtured by care and compassion. Let patience and love guide you in restoring this sacred connection. Buddha's gaze swept across the gathering, his presence amplifying the message of hope carried within his words for all disciples. The storms will pass, and the flame will guide us home. Family is the foundation from which peace radiates outward, Buddha said. The mother and daughter embraced, their tears blending with the dew that adorned the earth beneath them like pearls of reconciliation. Disciples watched silently, their hearts reminded of the fragility and strength woven into family bonds that sustain life's purpose and meaning. Buddha's teachings lingered in the air, imprinting their essence into souls that carried burdens now lightened by the wisdom of his truth. Let the flame guide you. Let its light illuminate paths of love, compassion, and unity that mend broken hearts, Buddha concluded. He rose gracefully, his presence leaving behind warmth that settled into the hearts of those gathered beneath the ancient bodhi tree. The mother and daughter remained seated, their embrace unbroken, a testament to the teachings that bridged their hearts and lives anew. The sun ascended, casting light across the earth, yet it paled in comparison to the glow within their reconciled souls. The disciples remained seated, reflecting on the profound wisdom Buddha had shared that day. The air hummed with the promise of transformation, carrying the echoes of Buddha's teachings far beyond the sacred grove. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.